do that regardless. With all the heroes of Poyoyo, they just give him space to farm. He joins in when he wants to, and then they just kind of run down. Ori Void Spirit is something to watch out for, and I know the question you're going to ask. I do actually prefer Vici's draft here. I think the AM's going to have a pretty good game. The Slaughter last pick from Liquid is nice, but I just don't feel like it's enough to really overwhelm Vici's end.
I'll give them a drubbing.
Last pick Slaughter was actually quite nice. Into the AM, just being able to kind of dominate the off lane, and obviously not really caring about the mana drain of the anti-mage in terms of that off lane and the safe lane for Vici. But it doesn't matter what we think, Jonathan. We're going to get into the game, and teams will show us who is right and who is wrong with their draft. Oh, pans out. I mean, for Vici, they've been looking amazing. Liquid, hot and cold. It's been a bit on and off for them, but like you mentioned earlier, it's been a bit of a tiring day for them as well. They've had a lot of games. They just came out of a bit of a slugfest with Quincy crew. Wondering how they will perform.
It's one of those things, right? You play a lot of series and they can wear out on you. And obviously Liquid just went through quite the series beforehand. Of course, they didn't start their day off all too well as well, so we'll have to see if they can bounce right back through, as it's been touch and go for the side of Liquid so far from the wildcards. Like, they had that amazing start, then day 2 comes out and they don't win anything. Group stage so far has been shaping up all right, a mixed bag. I think they'd look for more wins. And we'll see if they can get themselves into that mindset and just start applying what they want to do.
The battle begins.
Bot lane. Well, you're just going to allow Boxy to walk away with that bounty. 2 for 2 trade anyway. Won't matter really too much. This bot lane is what I'm intrigued with as well. Like, you look at this combination. As long as Tiger, if he can connect the roll, once Boxy's level 2 or 3, you get the follow-up stun off, you get the bash the deeps off, and this lane can get very difficult for Poyo as time goes on. Of course, he is going to have DY to help him out, but I don't really see the Grimstroke being able to do much if they connect the roll and get the initiation they need.
Yeah, it can be dicey for Poyoyo. It's down to DY to ensure that he blocks the roll, try to find the angle every single time. You want some levels on the Grimstroke here as well. If you do have Inkswell up, you have some way of breaking up the initiation. It's just on a pretty big delay, so you're just going to have to watch yourself. And Boxy just, you know, playing around with Slithering Crush, securing last hits. The wave is shoving in, and Taiga is going to get the pull-off, so he's going to find that steady EXP that he wants to get. On the Earth Spirit, DY not really able to punish that one too much.
Yeah, not. Of course, over in the mid lane, you've got Ori there up against Quaver. Quaver Storm, one of his specials. Good to see it coming out in the group stages. So far, he's doing a great job. 8-1 in comparison to the 6-0 of the Void Spirit by Ori. If anyone's going to know how to abuse the Storm Spirit timings, I think it would be Quaver in this matchup. Ori will have to be somewhat cautious about that level 3, especially once he does have that first point up in the Vortex.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of turn potential for Quaver if you overextend. So we'll see just how well Ori can hold out. He's not lagging too far behind. 10-1 up against 9-0. Not the worst starts for the Void Spirit, and you can easily just get your own EXP up, hit your own spikes. We'll have to see if the supports can help them top up their bottles. Again, both Spirits just really need the bottle top-ups from the power runes. And that's going to be down to the last set of supports that we're going to see. Insania on that DP up top. You have him around with Mickey on that Weaver. Of course, on the other end, Old 11's on that Sand King, and PYW's on that Tusk. So, Sand King Tusk combination is potent enough. They're probably going to wait for some levels up to really start to apply the aggression, but they start now.
Yeah, Shards tag team out, but PYW, he's taking a lot of damage. He's going to be fine. That's one of the things with the Pulse 5 DP, is with that Spirit Siphon, you can turn back around and try to just fight. For Insania, it doesn't feel like he took any damage.
No, it's a DP. Spirit Siphon is a really busted spell early on, and you just don't quite have the burst. Like, you don't have Caustic Finale, you don't have a Creep Wave to just pop it on. So again, you might want to wait for some levels here on the side of VG before truly looking for the kills. That is enough to apply some pressure on Insania, but Mickey gets so much space from that movement out, finding all the farm. getting levels up. Level 3 now in the Weaver, whereas Old 11's still about to hit that mark.
Mid lane, Koifa, he's getting very aggressive onto Ori. Ori just trying to run. Resonant Pulse going to keep him safe, but bot lane is where it happens. Poyo does end up dying, and it's kind of what I talked about, John. Tiger, just connect the roll. Boxy will have the follow-up. So far, so good for this Slaughter pick.
Yeah, they're applying that pressure onto Poyo, making him uncomfy enough. Having level 4 up in Boxy means you have to keep that constant flow of aggression out. DY, the one thing with Grimstroke is early levels for it aren't amazing. You want level 3 to be up, likely level 4 for your spells to be balanced out, and you can counter that initiation. But just having that kill on hand means that Taiga gets to leave lane, camp the 4-minute power runes, and both supports from Liquid are actually on hand to secure those power runes.
That's what you want to see. Rune going to be down at the bot rune spot. Ori, he's going to walk over, force Tiger to take it. Definitely don't want to allow Koifa to walk his way down. So both mid laners left with an empty bottle. I love the fact that that we do see Tiger sending that illusion in, just annoying Ori, keeping him away from Koifa's creep wave. So far, looking really good for Liquid. I mean, you look at that CS board right now, and top 3 CS are all Liquid cores. Bot lane, snowball in, PYW trying to get a fight started, but he's going to be punished now. Boxy has a lot of damage on that Slaughter, and PYW, he has no way out. Insania the one to take that kill. It's an 0-2 just before the 5-minute mark. That'll ensure that both these bottom bounty runes at least are secured by Liquid.
I'll take your
Tiger.
Stupendous!
Around. Lane, looks like they are trying to go in again. Poyo just fine. Boxy, the one targeted. Inkswell there. They get the Slaughter kill as well. Vici Gaming getting a little bit of revenge out. For Poyo. Make it a 1-2, but already a 2k net worth lead for Liquid. Now Tiger gonna go on to PYW, roll in, Koifa trying to follow up, does have the zip, and will go in after Tusk. They have help coming. Snowball will delay things. Ori now with the Inkswarm moving in onto the Earth Spirit. They have the stun, and Tiger is set to die, but Koifa wants to keep going, but he is very low on mana. Has no choice but to really back off. It's DD rune though. Feel quite nice for him. You want Poyo. It's fine. Being left alone there. No worries for him. Oh, top lane Mickey. Farming quite nicely. Does have the Falcon Blade up now. 11. Really been able to slow down the Weaver too much. In fact, he's the one struggling in terms of CS at the moment. Snowball, Koifa, going to be targeted. Gets stunned, but he's going to be fine to turn right back around now with the Vortex. And PYW, well, he tried. It's not going to work out in his favor.
Your warning.
Well, though, okay, down to 11 at the top lane as well. So every lane right now just going the way of Liquid. Nothing really going the way of Vici Gaming for now. Even bot lane, Boxy. Just annoying Poyo.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I realize we can't hear John X5 right now. Unfortunately, we're having a couple of audio issues, but I'm sure he'll be back at any moment. We're just trying to get those resolved.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Top lane, old 11. Koifa. Make the jump on the Sand King. Let's sit back by the large camp. Koifa does have dust ready for this, but doesn't know where the Sand King is. Tiger fight over the power runes. He does get snowballed on though, but a nice kick away. Roll back in. The TP attempt might just be enough, but no. Tag team out. Enough bonus damage to get the kill, but top lane, Old 11 does eventually get picked off. Koifa, he was very patient on the storm. Eventually pay off for him. Oh, Vici Gaming, they're just trying to focus in on this mid lane. Oh, apply that pressure, but Insania, he's going to be around on the DP to make sure it remains safe. The supports of Vici are going to have to start making their way over somewhere else. Perhaps down to the bot lane to try and deal with Boxy.
Radiant are scanning.
Tiger. Kingswell going to be out with the astral step. Tiger. It's been caught.
To deny my wisdom, choose death.
Four to 5 now, but you look at that net worth lead. Liquid are just continuing to increase it. 3K. Ian from Tiger, making sure Koifa has the full bottle.
Hello?
Why?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Round bot. Boxy keeping his distance, making sure he's not out of position. Back now, they might go for an attempt at that 10-minute power rune, or rather bounty rune. They are going to jump in with the Inkswell onto Insania. They might just get him. He's still alive, but does eventually die. Still Boxy with the counter initiation. The stun out onto DY. They will go. The Grimstroke in a spot of danger and should die. Eventually, they do get him. Meanwhile, Boxy gets the bash of the deeps on PYW. They'll find a second. Only a positive trade there for the side of Team Liquid.
Yep, they're starting to find those early kills, so
Hello,
ramping
John.
up the aggression. Looks like the Discord issues fixed itself. Something was up. Don't know what, but tech gremlins, you know how it is. Like spiders to a router, Mike. It just happens. Still, Liquid up 5-7, 3K lead. They are starting to take control of the map. They're making it very awkward for Poyoyo to farm, and they're just constantly tracking him. Look at this position of Koipa. They are standing over ward, but they just don't want the AM to feel safe ever. It's just very hard for him to farm.
The blinks right in Koipa. He's going to avoid the Inkswell. Zip again to make sure PYW cannot target him.
Top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Back up towards the top lane, Vici. They'll go after this tier 1 top tower. Liquid not really in position yet to get the opposing tier 1, but Insania is making his way over with the level 1 exorcism.
Dire's top tower has
If
fallen.
Vici really want, they can commit to defend, but they probably will. They probably just won't bother. Maybe just go into the mid lane instead.
Are fortified. Dire are scanning.
No, there is a smoke though. It's like they want to actually try to at least get a pick off from that clump up.
What happens? Boxy. He scouted. Inkswell, Snowball, all onto the Slanner. It will make it in time, just barely. But Boxy is still very healthy. Now the Burrow Strike back into the Slanner, but Old 11 in big danger. It's going to die. Back on the DY now. The Grimstroke cannot survive the damage output from Koipa. And now we go on to Ori. Are there steps left? He has one, but he has been controlled and he will die. A triple kill out for Koipa. And I'll tell you what, John, Liquid, unlike yesterday, or rather the day before up against Vici, are looking very dominant.
Oh yeah, they're just running down lanes. They're playing aggressive. They know exactly what Vici tries to do. They keep trying to buy Poyoyo space. They're throwing all 4 bodies forward, but they're getting punished much harder. Liquid are not dropping heroes in these engagements. They're hitting their own item timings really well. Koifa already has Arcane Boots up. He's trying to save into the Kaya next. Has the Orchid running, so the control is really big. And the side of VG are just lagging too far behind. 6k up for Liquid at 12 minutes in. That is a massive gap. Look at Oli 11's farm. He has none. Still saving up for the blink. They need that up to at least have one stable wave initiating. They've also kind of missed the mark with the Inkswell combos. Like, if they want to play aggressive with Poyoyo, he needs to get the Inkswell timing perfect so that when he blinks in, the stun is off and they can burn down someone like Koifa. But it is a pretty tricky combo to perfectly land, but they're going to need to execute perfectly if they want to bounce back in here.
Gonna be a bit of time here for Vici. Trying to catch up ASAP. Meanwhile, this whole time, Mike, he's been farming so darn well on this Weaver. So over 2k ahead of this anti-mage Poyo. Tarned up as well. Snowball, top lane. They're going to go after Insania, but he has help around. The only problem being is he is going to die way too quick.
You seem to have trouble grasping
Because the Weaver, he's actually going to stick around here onto PYW. He actually hits like a truck right now and almost gets the kill, but not quite.
Radiant's middle tower is under
On
attack.
the edge, and you really have to respect Mickey's damage. It is a lot at this point, and that's without the Corrosive Haze on top from Boxy being around him. And speaking of Boxy, Ag's almost up, just about 300 gold away. And once you have that in the slaughter, things get really ridiculous with a crush, with a sprint. You managed to force the deny mid as well, so even more of the map opening up here for Liquid. And BG, they still need to stall this game out. Poyoyo is just flying out his Battle Fury, it looks like, or at least most parts of it. And until that's done, it's just going to be such a slow game. He still lacks one part. The rest of VG will have to pick up the pace and still play this pick-off game.
Makes it really hard when you've got to carry AM because he can't even help out, especially in these instances where Old 11 getting jumped again on the Sand King, but they're going to stop Insania in his tracks, at least for now. Snowball out, Insania continues to survive, surely not for long. He'll keep going though, they can't kill him. Insania, he keeps healing up all the rest of his team. Just wipe out Vici Gaming.
Tis mine.
These Spirit Siphons just won't let the DP die.
Yeah, it's difficult. We've seen them struggle from laning phase level 1. Even until now, it's just not a hero they can handle. I have to say, Old 11 going for this skill build. 3, 4, 1, no ult is costing. They need the epicenter up. They needed it up earlier. And now it just feels like the level 1 epicenter is going to be underwhelming since they didn't get that early spike with the Sand King. So they've got to watch themselves. Liquid, they don't have any long cooldowns except Exorcism to wait for. If you re-engage now, they still have a lot of power on hand. Could cause issues. Just wait for Poyoyo to get the Battle Fury and hope the AM can hyper carry you. But 10k, it's just way too wide.
Radiant
Boxy's just got an axe up.
Yeah. He was 300 gold a while ago. 300 gold off. It's just ridiculous.
How have they got a 10k net worth lead? We're 15 minutes in.
Yeah, they just won out every lane.
This is Liquid for you, John. Well, one game they looked, they look average. Next game they look like gods. It makes no sense, this team.
Yeah, that's how they go, right? Like they always meme about it on Twitter as well. It's like a 50-50 thing. Are they on top today? Are they not on top today? Right now it looks like they are. VG, they're not dissuaded. Do smoke up. Gonna try to look for a target. They do have epicenter up in Old 11, so this could be better.
Gone Insania. The TP rotations immediately into the mid lane. He is just about to die and done. But now the turnaround. How much can they punish them? It looks like a hell of a lot. Old 11 gonna die again. Ori is trying to run, but Boxy is on the chase. Meanwhile, on the right side, PYW is gonna die to boot. A 2-for-1 trade again from Liquid. That's one of the things about this team. When they know they've got the lead, they really know they've got the lead. They'll take every fight they can get.
Yeah, they're just abusing the side of VG right now. Poyoyo, even with a Battle Fury, and it's like a 16-minute Battle Fury, he still needs to farm up. He's still lagging behind all the cores of the side of Liquid. This is just not the hyper carry AM game you're seeing, and even if they try to play aggressive now, Poyoyo is 3 full levels behind Mike. Not the state you want your AM to be in. The side of Liquid, again, just playing with their item spikes really well. They're probably going to be eyeing Roche soon. They can melt it very fast with a Slaughter around and a Weaver around. but they're not quite in position to take that yet. Still, SNY up in Mickey. He's going to be so much more durable up front. And again, his damage output is getting really, really high. VG, 11k behind. They have been forcing fights. They have been playing as 4, playing that 4 protect 1 style. Just not lining up the kills. They need to stop jumping Insania. I get that he's the only person they see, but they need bigger targets. Like the DP takes too long to burst down, has a Hood of Defiance, 2 fluffy hats, so much HP, and a regen on hand is just ridiculous.
I love the way he sent out his items as well, Insania. On the side, they can't be together. It's always on the left and right.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It's so hard to try and defend towers when Box has got such a quick axe. You've got the Slider, 2.4k HP, crazy HP regen. There's no answer. I mean, Vici, all they can do is avoid the side of Liquid and keep farming up on Poyo and hope for a miracle later on.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, they're starting to lose ground. That Roach we talked about happens now, and of course Boxy with the corrosive haze. Look at it melt. It's not going to last too long at all.
No, it is not. There you go, Roshan down. Aegis the way of Quaifa.
Under attack.
And Liquid immediately rushing to that mid-tier 1, making sure it takes no damage. Vici.
Oh man, this is so awkward for Vici. Look at Poyoyo. He's forced to go Ghost Scepter just to defend himself. That is not good news when you see an AM rush Ghost Scepter. Second item after battle, first item after Battle Fury. Never a good sign. Gonna go for the Manta Style next. That should help the cause, but he's gonna have to just stick back, let the rest of his team comp the aggression. And BGR sort of poised around the map just to see if anyone fights the bait down bot, but Liquid read him like a book. They just don't show up.
Yep. Well, Tiger's having a gander. You'll have a look.
Got it. I'll take your tribute.
Oh, old 11.
Dire's bottom
It's so hard. Like Quaifa's 10-0-3 now, John. When you're 11k behind and there's a Storm Spirit that's 10-0-3, and on the other side there's a Weaver that's 3-0-6. You know, you're just easy pickings no matter who you are. Tiger trying to roll in, misses the initial roll. Vici Gaming, they're gonna get themselves out. I mean, Poyo is literally gonna carry them. That's all there is to it. This anti-mage has to farm like a madman.
That's the call now. That's all they can do. Just hold out for Poyo, but he's surrounded.
Oh yeah, they've got him. Silence out with the stun. He is being body blocked by Boxy. He just cannot get away. Even with the Ghost Scepter, it definitely helps. Just not enough.
No, Vici, they're really being torn apart. 13k lead now for Liquid. They've still got the Aegis. They've got the Exorcism as well. They're just going to melt this tier 2 mid. They can maybe start to knock high ground if they want to. There's some good high ground defense with Old 11 who needs to land the epicenter, and it's still a level 1 epicenter. Like, that just tickles. He's not even level 12. Look at Insania. He's 12.
YW, shots off the mark. Boxy right back in with the stun, but there's the epicenter. It does no damage, however. Boxy is outreaching the damage. Now Quaifa right in onto PYW, gets one. It's Ori. They whip him before they take him out. He's been silenced. He'll go down. Boulder smash off the mark, but it won't matter because Boxy is there with the follow-up stun, and there will be just a complete massacre as Poyo tries to go in for the mana void. It may cost him his own life. He gets ink swelled. At least he will survive for now, but Quaifa's back with the silence. They will get the AM. In fact, Quaifa, he's not done yet. He wants everything. DY just trying to run back to his fountain. It's going to be no good. It's a full team wipe, they call it. They have had enough of the torture. Liquid. I don't know what to say about this team, John. They look incredible. When they're hot, they're hot.
That they are. They pop off big time. Vici,